Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a complete step-by-step playbook for ambitious beginners who want to build a crazy profitable digital marketing side hustle in 2027. If you've been wondering how to navigate all these massive market shifts, especially with AI absolutely everywhere and client expectations changing, you are in the right place. We're going to cover everything you need to know about the topic. I'm talking hard data, pricing benchmarks, tips to succeed, and real-world case studies from folks who've crushed it on both the freelance and agency sides. We're taking you from zero to a fully scalable business. Let's get right into it.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to hit the 2027 market opportunity, weigh the freelance versus agency paths, look at those proven founder case studies, dig into the nitty-gritty of tools and pricing, and finally, wrap it all up with a concrete 90-day action plan.
All right, Section 1, the 2027 market opportunity, why this side hustle still works.
So let me ask you straight up, why on earth start a digital marketing hustle in 2027? Seriously, with AI instantly writing copy and spitting out images in seconds, you might actually think the market is totally saturated. Or maybe that the barrier to entry has just vanished, making human marketers kind of obsolete, right? Well, hold that thought, because the data tells a completely different and honestly much more exciting story. Just look at this staggering number, $800 billion. That's the estimated global digital marketing spend projected for 2026, carrying right into 2027. Think about that for a second. The budget is absolutely 100% there. But here's the real kicker. It's not just about how much money is out there. It's about how businesses are fundamentally changing the way they actually spend that money.
So where exactly is all that cash flowing? Over 67%, literally more than 2/3 of all global advertising spend is now pouring through digital channels. It has completely overtaken TV, print, and radio combined. What does this mean for you? Well, businesses are actively unbundling their marketing teams. Think about a small local business or a brand new startup. They simply cannot justify dropping 80 grand a year on a full-time jack-of-all-trades marketer. No way. Instead, they want to hire specialists. They want to hire you, someone who can jump in and prove a solid return on investment on one single, highly focused channel.
Now, that brings us right to the elephant in the room, AI. Let's completely reframe the fear here, okay? Yes, AI has definitely lowered the floor for basic execution, but it has dramatically raised the ceiling for high-level strategy. Enter Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short. This is the discipline of getting a brand actually cited inside AI-generated answers, not just ranking on some traditional old-school search results page. This is a massive, massive trend for 2027. Listen, clients aren't paying you just to type words anymore. They already assume you're using AI. What they're actually paying for is your human judgment, your strategic brain, and your ability to drive real, measurable outcomes.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, freelance versus agency paths, choosing your lane.
The absolute most crucial point here is understanding exactly what you're selling. As a solo freelancer, you are essentially selling your own personal skills and your own hours. The timeline to making your first paid dollar is incredibly fast. We're talking literally days sometimes. But your income is ultimately capped by your physical availability. You only have so many hours in a week, right? Now, flip over to the agency builder. As an agency founder, you sell a system and you sell outcomes. It's definitely a slower start because you need a proven offer first, but the income potential, completely uncapped. But hey, here is the ultimate insider tip for you. Almost everyone should start solo. You've got to validate your specific offer and prove you can get results with zero overhead before you ever even think about taking on the fixed costs of a team. Now, you can't just go out there and sell digital marketing. It's way too broad. You absolutely have to pick a niche. Let's look at some realistic hourly rates for a few high-demand skills right now. Things like technical SEO and paid search, those command serious premium rates, often $100 to $150 an hour. Why? Because they tie directly to measurable ROI. Clients see the math. Short-form video is also fast-growing with a much lower barrier to entry. But here is the real secret sauce, the big takeaway here. Cross a skill with a specific industry. Don't just sell email marketing. Sell email marketing for direct-to-consumer supplement brands. That laser-targeted specificity, that is exactly what makes your cold outreach actually work.
Let's jump into Section 3, proven founder case studies, real builders who started where you are.
Let's look at Victor. He was actually working full-time as a music producer, right? And he just started taking on digital marketing clients on the side. He kicked things off with a super modest $100 a month retainer.
Very humble beginnings. But by systematically leveling up his offer and building absolute rock-solid confidence in his pricing, he scaled that exact same solo business to land a massive $5,000 a month retainer with a single client. Seriously, $5,000 a month. It brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of starting small, proving your undeniable value, and locking in that sweet recurring revenue.
And then there's Dylan Ogline. Let's see how this builds into the agency model. Dylan also started solo, but he transitioned to an agency founder by making a really specific, deliberate choice. He refused to offer everything to everyone. Instead, he offered one single core service: managed marketing systems for customer acquisition. That's it. And he scaled that incredibly laser-focused offer into a business generating over $1 million in revenue. The big tip to succeed here: narrowing your positioning scales so much faster than trying to be a generalist who does a little bit of everything.
Which brings us to Section 4, Tools, Pricing, and Pitfalls, the mechanics of the hustle.
I know pricing is usually where most beginners totally freeze up, so let's lay out a highly realistic pricing ladder for your very first year. Step 1, for your first 1 to 3 months, price yourself at about 60 to 70% of the normal market rate. Why? You're basically offsetting your lack of testimonials. Honestly, maybe even do a project or two for free just to get a solid, documented numeric result. Okay, step 2, the minute you have 3 strong testimonials, you instantly move up to the full market rate. Boom. And step 3, once you've got 5 or more documented, measurable results under your belt, you start pricing above the market rate. This is when you ideally shift your clients onto monthly retainers so you can finally have that predictable sleep-at-night cash flow.
Now, when it comes to tools, you've got to keep it incredibly lean. Seriously, don't go crazy here. Use a general AI system like Claude or ChatGPT to draft your strategy. Grab Perplexity for deep research. Use Canva as your design hub. Stick to Google Analytics 4 for your reporting. And then pick exactly one specialized tool for your specific niche. That is the whole shebang. Over-tooling is a massive, massive early money leak. A good rule of thumb is to cap your software spend at roughly 5 to 10% of your monthly revenue. Please do not buy expensive software before you actually have the paying clients to justify it.
But look, even with the perfect tools, you still have to dodge the common hustle killers. Working without a clear, simple one-page contract or scope of work, that pretty much guarantees you're going to end up doing unpaid work. Don't do it. Mixing your personal and business bank accounts, oh man, that will make tax season an absolute nightmare. Separate your money on day one. But the single biggest killer we see? Overcommitting while you're still working a full-time job. You have to be absolutely ruthless with your time management. Protect 3 to 5 hours on weekday evenings and carve out one longer weekend block. Strictly cap your client load to exactly what those specific hours can handle. Otherwise, you're going to burn out before you even really get started. All right, the final stretch. Section 5, the 90-day action plan, your launch sequence. Okay, here is exactly how you map out your next 3 months. During days 1 to 30, you're laying the foundation. You pick that narrow niche we talked about, open that separate business bank account, and hustle hard to get just one concrete portfolio result, even if it's pro bono. Then, days 31 to 60, you build the outreach engine. You start running specific outreach cadences on LinkedIn or shooting out cold emails. Send it day 1, follow up day 3, send a value add on day 7. Your mission here is to land your first 2 or 3 paying clients at a slight discount. Finally, day 61 to 90, systemize and decide. You document your delivery process step by step, you collect written testimonials, and you shift those early clients onto retainers. This is also crossroads time. You have to decide, are you turning away enough work that it's finally time to hire a contractor and build an agency? Or do you stay solo, keep it lean, and simply raise your rates?
Listen, the market data completely proves that the demand for outsourced digital marketing is absolutely massive. Businesses are actively hunting for specialists who can actually deliver real outcomes. The constraint holding you back? It's not the market. It's just taking that first step. So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. What is your first move tomorrow?